We've talked a lot about contracts this offseason. Some good, some bad, some in between. But what about the worst of the worst? Well, thanks to The Athletic, we've got them! Welcome back, hockey fans. Welcome in if this is your first time to the channel. I'm Josh. This is the Hockey Flow, and today it's Tuesday, July 26, 2022. Let's see what we have in store today. We got another edition of Today in Hockey. We got a lot of fun things to talk about, including those 10 worst contracts for the 2022 season. Thanks to Dom and The Athletic. We haven't been back to The Athletic in a little bit, so excited to get there. But before we get to that, we got to get to headlines, and we can't forget Today in Hockey history, and then we'll go on and get to our article deep dive, heading back to The Athletic, the excellent Dom, and we're going to see if we agree with his 10 worst contracts for the 2022 season. So yeah, let's get right into it. If you do enjoy the content, take a moment, like the video, subscribe to the channel. I really do appreciate it. Helps us out a ton. We're just getting started. We're going to keep bringing you videos every day. Want to make sure you never miss a beat and want to be part of this excellent hockey group, right? All right, Today in Hockey history. On this date, July 26th, in 2011, Red Wing legend Chris Draper would announce his retirement. He did play 17 seasons with the Red Wings, and I think I did read that he played 20 games over the course of his first 3 seasons with the Jets, I believe, but then he would go on to play 17 seasons with the Red Wings and make a major impact, and we do see the aftermath of the famous Claude Lemieux hit right there. But headlines. We got a couple of them today. Edmonton Oilers, let's go Oilers! We did it. We re-signed Jesse Puljujarvi. He signs a 1-year, $3 million deal with the team. And tell you what, we talked about it yesterday on the channel, some of the rumors that the Oilers Puljujarvi's camp wanted to get a deal done before arbitration, because arbitration would probably err on his side and it makes him tougher to move. But coming in at 1 year, $3 million, I feel like that deal still might be a little tough to move, right? We were thinking maybe lower or upper 2s, but I tell you what, I want him to stay, so I'm all for it. Glad he got paid. He probably deserved a little more. All right, San Jose Sharks, you guys do have a new head coach. David Quinn was announced. He most recently was the New York Rangers head coach, so did finish over 500 with his tenure, but obviously didn't get to the end there. So he is going to be your new head coach, San Jose fans. Let me know in the comments how you feel about this one. All right, we're back to The Athletic. NHL's 10 Worst Contracts 2022 edition. Tyler Seguin, Seth Jones, and others. And again, this is coming to us from The Athletic and the excellent Dom Luszczyszyn. And so sorry if I butchered that, man. That's tough. But man, you do great work, and we love revisiting your stuff. This is what we're working with today. We've got 10 contracts, he says, are the 10 worst contracts in the NHL. And on a quick glance, I agree with some of them, absolutely. Some others were surprises. Thanks to Dom and Shane at The Athletic for these player cards as well. We're going to use a few of these as reference to just kind of show you maybe why they did come in at his list where they did. So let's get right into it. Number 10, Ben Sherratt. This one's interesting because it is the most recent signing, I believe, on the list. $4.8 million over the next 4 years. He did sign with the Red Wings this offseason, and I agree that's a rich contract. 4 years. I don't think it's going to age very well. He's already 31, I believe, but almost $5 million for essentially, according to Dom's model, essentially a third pair defenseman. That's a lot to pay. But the Red Wings are doing a lot of really good things. Even if he's just there as maybe a leadership piece, something like that, absolutely. But you guys got good things cooking. Moving to number 9, Nick Suzuki, the Canadian center, maybe future captain. Wink, wink. I think that would be the right move. But $7.9 million over the next 8 seasons, and this one's interesting. Dom does point out in the article that this actually is a deal has good potential to age nicely. If Nick Suzuki, develops into the player that some folks think he can, if he's a number 1 center and you get him at $7.9 million over the next 8 years, that's maybe not a bad deal. But right now, with his production, with where it's at, Dom does say it's a little rich. I don't know. I'm a little torn on this one. I think it's decent value. It is a little high, right? That's a high number, but considering when he signed it and the position he plays and the impact he has on that team, again, we might be talking future captain. I'm okay with it. All right, Zach Werenski, Columbus Blue Jackets defender. This was a trend. Dom does mention it. There were 4 major contracts last offseason given out to defenders. Defenders got paid, baby, and Zach Werenski is no different. He signed he's signed for $9.6 million over the next 6 years. That's a lot of money to be paying. But at the end of the day, Werenski's still young. He's only 25. Dom makes those points as well, and I don't think it's a terrible deal. That blue line, he shores it up. If he continues to improve his game as well, he's already an excellent impact player. But it is a little rich deal, absolutely. All right, Erik Karlsson, Sharks defender, Ottawa Senator legend, $11.5 million over the next 5 years. My goodness, I feel like this one should be a little higher in the list, if I'm being honest, just on the face of it, because that number is so high. Last year's edition, I believe Drew Doughty was number 1. And his cap number was very similar, but Erik Karlsson did have a nice rebound season this year for the Sharks, and that's why he's not higher up in the list according to Dom. But man, $11.5 million, that's tough. That's a tough pill to swallow over the next 5 years. We just lose Brent Burns, man, Sharks fans, I'm sorry, it's a tough time, but you got a new head coach. That's exciting, absolutely. Moving to number 6, Colton Parayko, the Blues defender. This one, essentially, Dom's point is Colton Parayko doesn't really bring much offensively, and defensively, his numbers have declined, so over the next 8 years, we can't expect too much. So at that cap number, that's tough. And so I agree. That's a decent spot in the list for him. All right, let's go Oilers fans. This one got me a little bit. Darnell Nurse at number 5. All right, so we see the player card, right? 1.3 game score value added last season, $9.3 million over 8 years. But Dom does make the call out that his most recent trajectory over the last couple of seasons does leave room for optimism. Now, I agree. This $9.3 million number is just crazy, and Darnell Nurse is the second of those 4 defenders to get paid in 2021. $9.3 million over 8 years. Like, at that number, you need to be a top, the number 1 defenseman, and Darnell Nurse has a lot of those attributes, but he just hasn't put it all together just quite yet. Still does some things that will just drive you crazy, but I'm a huge fan of his game. At that price point, it does hurt a tiny bit, but man, if he keeps improving his game, he can live up to that, absolutely. Let's go Oilers! All right, number 4, Marc-Edouard Vlasic, $7 million over 4 years. Essentially, Dom just says at one point in his career, the man was underpaid and underrated, but for right now, my goodness, this contract is going to age horribly. I believe it said he was already 35, and he's still got 4 more years on that deal. This one, I would probably be the betting one to think he's not going to make it till the end. But again, Sharks fans, man, you guys are showing up twice on this list. But new head coach. All right, number 3, Sabres, Jeff Skinner, $9 million over the next 5 years. Essentially, Dom says the age comps don't bode well for him. He had a great season this last year, great bounce back, not breakthrough, bounce back, absolutely, season for the Sabres, and I do expect him to kind of continue that into this season, but Dom does make very good points, so I don't know if number 3 is exactly where we want to go with it. The impact that you saw that he had on that team last year, and the impact that he's having on those young kids, I'm sure is pretty special as well. I might move him up, but I don't know where I'm going to. Maybe hit Vlasic down, who knows. But all right, number 2, Seth Jones, Chicago. My goodness, could so much change in in one season. You guys go from trading for Seth Jones, signing him to this massive deal, and then here we are. So he is him, Kane, and Taves are the last of the big 3 here in Chicago, and he signed for $9.5 million over the next 8 seasons. So he's going to be a part of it. Now, Kane and Taves probably won't be. Haven't really heard much on that end, but Seth Jones, man, this contract, Dom says length isn't the real issue because he's not that old. He's only, I believe, 27. But at the end of the day, the numbers don't speak too well, according to Dom. Dom's saying that he doesn't win too many matchups 5-on-5, and that's tough when you're paying someone number 1 defenseman money. They need to produce at a number 1 level, and according to Dom, Seth Jones is just not. So this one's a little tough, but according to the underlying numbers and the impact that he had on the team, that team is just kind of lost right now. So I'm okay with it as well. And number 1, the man, the myth, the legend, Tyler Seguin. I tell you what, when the Stars signed him to this extension, they thought it was a good deal, and sure, he could still live up to it, right? But injuries really have derailed things. 2021, he missed the entire season. And last season, sure, he scored 50 points, but that's nowhere near 9.9 million over the next 5 seasons. So yeah, that one's a little tough. I agree. Taylor Seguin is your number one worst contract in the NHL for the 2022 season. Let me know in the comments. Do you guys agree with these puppies? Do you see other contracts worse? Do you maybe think Dom was a little harsh on these people? I love to talk to you guys. Love talking hockey. Always a good time. That's going to do it for the video today. We do have a giveaway going on at the channel. We crossed that 100 subscriber mark, so thank you guys so much. Again, we're just getting started, so this is going to be the first of many giveaways. Gotta get a special video put together and out for you guys. It's either going to be Saturday or Sunday. Just letting you know what to do and giving all the official things, make it compliant with YouTube. But again, thank you guys so much. I really do appreciate you. Until next time, cheers.